What's going on, guys? It's Caleb with Poseidon Pressure Washing. Today we got a roof wash at a condo association, and I'm going to bring you along for the ride. This is my first real washing video on the channel, so we're going to kind of go over a little bit of everything, how I got the job, how much I charged, go over how I'm doing it. So yeah, we'll get a little bit of everything this video, but yeah, let's jump right into it. I got this condo association, and this is one cul-de-sac. We got big building, garage, and then building. So this is one cul-de-sac. I believe there are 12 total. If my math's right, there's 44 buildings, 22 residential buildings, and then 22 garages. Really wanted someone who could use an eco-friendly cleaner, which, as you guys know, doesn't really exist for roof washing. Well, kind of exists. Anyway, after a lot of back and forth, we ended up deciding to use a product called Wash Safe. It's a quote-unquote eco-friendly cleaner. It's like a peroxide-based cleaner, so it does work. It just takes significantly longer than SH. So this is March. We were actually here in October, November, getting everything done, and it looks like it's working. Like, all the lichen is turning white and gray. So we're gonna go over everything again, and not everything. Typically, the north sides in New England are the sides of the roofs that are really bad. So a lot of these, only half the roof is rough. So I'm just gonna go over the sides that are bad again. And yeah, it's probably going to take me a week and a half to get these done. It's about 200,000 square feet of roof, so it's quite a job. Yeah, and it takes a little bit longer than using normal SH because of the product that we're using. This is the product I'm using. It's called Wash Safe. This is powder form. So all I'm doing is I think you need half a cup per gallon. So since I'm using a 55-gallon drum, do 25 cups, and then I have a mixer in there, so I'll plug that in, and that's filling up with water. But when it's full, I'll plug that in, and it'll mix everything. You let it mix for 10 minutes, and then it's good to go. Got the Aero mixer on, so give it about 10 minutes, and that should be fully mixed. Once I got it mixed, just got it in a barrel in the soft wash system, and yeah, we're just applying it to the roof. It's kind of brutal. I'm fighting the wind all day today, so I'm trying to just get it up top and let it roll down best I can. You can see from when we sprayed it last year, I mean, it's already doing wonders. It's already dead, it looks like, so we're gonna spray it again and make sure it doesn't come back, but this should be letting go pretty soon. Like, barely touch it, it's flaking off, so definitely dead. We'll hit it again. That stuff right there, I don't know if you can see, that's really dead, so that's a good sign. The only tricky part up here is it's spring and we're near the ocean, so there's a lot of wind, so I'm just really fighting the wind right now. It's blowing right back in my face. But I'm starting up here and I'm gonna let it drip down so that way a lot of the lower part will focus. A lot of the lower part will just get covered and then we'll have to use as much cleaner. Crazy, we still got snow on the ground. This is the warmest day of the year and it is 46 degrees. So I'm not sure if I should be loving or hating this, but we're out here. No gutters, so you gotta rinse everything. Guys, about to head out to chilly one for sure. Good morning, guys. It is day 4. So yesterday I definitely messed up. Cost me pretty much a whole day. But so basically what I did is I was under the assumption that the pressure washer was going to charge the battery a lot more than it was going to. So I think the battery that I had was a 65 amp hour. And the pressure washer, as I found out yesterday, only charges 3 amps an hour. So it definitely wasn't keeping up. And I just ran the soft wash system and everything for 2.5 days straight. And it just drained the battery completely. So yesterday, it's like in the middle of spraying the roof and everything just completely died. And then since the hose reels are electric, I couldn't even reel up the hose reels. So I had 300 feet of pressure line and 300 feet of soft wash line that I had to reel up by hand. So that was fun. So what I ended up doing is I went home and the little charger that I have is only 3 amp hours. And for the 65, I'm like, this is going to take forever and it's not going to charge up in time. So I went to Walmart and I bought a 105 amp hour battery and a no-code charger. So the no-code charges 10 amps an hour. So I got both of those batteries charged up. But I guess lesson learned is don't let your battery get that low. Like the pressure washer, I think will keep up with it if you like are charging it, like have it running while you're using the soft wash system for an extended period. But for what I was doing, I completely just let it drain and it kind of bit me yesterday because I wasn't able to finish up. So got the new battery. It should work, we'll see. But I got 2 of them, so if one dies I can just swap it out. But I brought the charger just in case. But the 105 amp hour battery should last a very long time. I'm not too worried about that. And I have the other one and I can charge them if I need to. So this is the battery that died completely yesterday. I got that fully recharged, I believe. This is the one that I got. A little bit of an upgrade, so it's 100 amp hours compared to the 65. So this one will last significantly longer. All right, I still need to like cover up everything, but this is all connected. Everything should be wired up. See if there's power. Just turn the key for a second. All right, sweet. All right, back in business. Spot where it's really bad we did last year. It's almost ready to let go. I'm just like rubbing my hand over it and it's just falling off pretty easily. So the issue that I'm having is some of these condos have front porches or back decks, and since there's no gutters, the stuff just drips for days. And if you let it dry, it like cakes on there like a white powder. So you got to make sure that you keep rinsing it. So I got to rinse these things like 5 times each. Make sure they keep staying wet. Otherwise you get like this horrible chalk powder that sticks. So I'm like consistently just going and keeping everything wet, waiting for everything to stop dripping so I can rinse these guys off. But that's honestly what's taking the longest, by not having any gutters. This is what happens if this stuff gets baked on by the sun. It'll come off. You just gotta rinse it really thoroughly. So we just finished the roofs, and yeah, I'm very thankful for the work, but man, dealing with old people all the time, it gets a little weary sometimes. Especially this condo association is essentially just a retirement home, and everybody is there all the time and has nothing better to do. And every single day someone's coming out and be like, what are you doing? Like, washing the roofs. They're like, well, weren't you here in the fall? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, why is there moss on the roof still? I'm like, well, because we can't use bleach and yada, 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 and it'll come off eventually. It's like in the process of dying. And it's just like always something. And like, I get it. People want to know what's going on. But at the same time, the condo association sends out an email explaining all this. I had to write up like a whole email along with the proposal to send out explaining everything to everybody. So, and then there's like people that get mad that you hook up to their water. And I'm like, we're allowed to hook up to your water. You're not paying your water bill. The condo association is, and it's totally fine. You'll have people like someone just staring at, like, standing in their front door with binoculars, just staring at me. I'm like, what is going on? Like, I feel like I'm in the zoo and I am like the animal that everyone's looking at. But we got it done. It'll take a little bit to fall off, but it's done, and it might take a little bit to get paid. So the way I set up this job is, when I sent the proposal, I proposed that I would take half of the payment up front and half in the spring when we came back to do the second treatment. So when we measured it out, it was about 200,000 square feet of roof. And I think, I'm not quite sure what it breaks down to per square footage wise. I'll have to do the quick math, but when I put the quote together, I charged $38,000 for the job and asked for half up front, or half when we completed it in the fall, and then half when we completed it in the spring. So the fall, basically the majority of it went towards paying for the wash safe stuff. So that, I think I paid like 9 or 10 grand for all the buckets of wash safe. So basically the payment in the fall went towards that. And I split this job with another company. So it was me and one of the guys that was doing it. So essentially, after expenses, we're splitting it 50-50. Even though I got the job, he helped me put the quote together and all that good stuff. But yeah, it was a lot. Definitely a learning experience for sure. I got the job through Google, which is pretty sick, because I spent a lot of work last year trying to build up my Google business page, and that's how they found me. I think the whole situation is their insurance company was giving them a hard time about the moss on the roof, and the roofs in reality probably only have like 5 years left. They're pretty old, so they wanted, since there was no gutters, they needed to get the roofs washed, and they couldn't find anybody who was going to be able to wash it without using bleach. And that was a big issue for them, because everybody has plants and furniture and all that stuff and porches underneath, and they didn't want bleach getting on top of that. And it's just not something they wanted to deal with. So I did a lot of research going into this job, trying to figure out how I was going to get around that. And we eventually settled on using a product called Wash Safe. When I presented it to them, I explained, I'm like, look, I've never used this product before, so you're not going to probably get an instant result like you would SH. And I've never used it, so I can't really say for sure how well it's going to work. It claims that it'll remove everything without having to pressure. I mean, it claims on the website, if you look at the Wash Safe website, that in order to remove the black mold, you're supposed to get up there with a pressure washer and like rinse it off. And I'm like, okay, that definitely doesn't seem like it. That's not happening for sure. I don't even know if they know what they're talking about at that point, but it does seem like it killed it. And we were there in October, November. All the moss and lichen was pretty much dead when we got here in the spring, or when we just did this job now. So hopefully treating it again will make sure everything dies and it'll fall off. I explained to her that I wasn't sure if the black mold, it's called geoclapsomagma, I believe. I said I wasn't 100% sure if that was coming off, but they're mainly just wanting to get the roof washed for the insurance purposes, not so much for the aesthetics. I think they know they're going to have to get a new roof in the next 5-10 years anyway. So yeah, that was the job. And yeah, I don't know if I would necessarily do it again looking back. I think there's a reason so many people turned it down. Not so much that it was like the thing that took the longest, honestly, was having to mix the cleaner every single time. You're supposed to use hot water, and obviously we don't have access to hot water, so we were putting it in the buckets. And then before I got the aero mixer, I was just taking the pressure washer wand and just spraying it in the buckets to mix it while it was filling up. And it just, like, you take like 15-20 minutes to fill up the bucket, and then you go through it in a pretty short period of time. I was using a 5.5 gallon a minute soft wash pump, so I guess you go through the whole 55 gallon bucket in 10 minutes of spray time. So it's not a lot. So we spent a lot of time mixing, and honestly, that's what took the longest, besides having to rinse all the porches repeatedly. So definitely a learning experience. There were some things that I would probably do differently. If I were to have to do this again, having the aero mixer definitely helps mix it up, but I don't know, it's a lot. It was nice having to do it in the fall, because we didn't have a lot of other, or me personally didn't have a lot of other jobs, so just being able to dedicate 2 weeks to getting it done was nice. But if it was like one of those things where I was asked to do it in the middle of summer, I don't know if I'd do it, because just like, yeah, I made good money, I guess, doing it, but I feel like I could make more money by just washing houses normally. So it's like a good end of season job. But the condo association president was pretty happy with how everything turned out. They want me to submit a quote to wash all the buildings in the fall, so that'd be sick. We got to put that quote together. We'll figure that out. But yeah, that was the job, and yeah, we'll catch you on the next one.